Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody could be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to me on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. We definitely got some shit to talk about, man. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody had a productive week. We gonna go ahead and jump right into this shit, man. So, off the rip, J. Cole. Jermaine Cole, Fayetteville, North Carolina, dropped his supposedly last album called The Fall Off. And of course, shout out to J. Cole for having somewhat of a dope, I would say it was somewhat of a dope rollout. You had the music video that dropped for track two off this album. And of course, you had, the dope music video that went with it. Then he dropped the mixtape. Excuse me, y'all. Then he had the mixtape that dropped last week, Birthday Blizzard 26, where he was rapping over some of the most famous rap beats, popular rap beats of all time. So salute to J. Cole for this rollout. Now this album, and I said this before in the previous episode, when I first heard track two off this two, I was anticipating some classic all-time work from J. Cole. I'm only comparing J. Cole to J. Cole. I'm not comparing him to nobody else. Just as far as his discography, his body of work, how he gets busy, the whole nine. So when I first heard that track, I'm like, yeah, this about to be crazy. And then when I heard the mixtape, I'm like, yeah, this nigga about to be on a different level. So off rip with this album, you have, of course, it's a double disc. So it's labeled as this 29 and this 39. So 29 obviously represents the age that he was, and 39 represents the age that he is now. So basically, both of this represents different points of his life. So I thought that was pretty dope too. I thought that was pretty dope. Typically everybody go with the disc one, disc two, shit like that. But for it to have a label and a meaning, that's pretty dope. So just go ahead and off the rip with this album. So the intro is fire. I definitely fuck with it. The intro is fire. And of course, each disc is 12 tracks. Is it? Yeah. Each disc is 12 tracks, so 24 tracks total. So the intro is dope. The intro is dope. Off rip. 2-6, I fuck with 2-6, and shout out to the music video. The music video was very dope as well. 2-6 was definitely fire. Then we go into Safety. Safety is probably the deepest record on this album. Definitely tells the story of basically, friends back home, associates back home, basically, writing the code, telling him like what's been going on in the city, what's been going on back home, rapping from their perspective, and everything that's been going on around that time frame. Because we all know J. Cole, he left North Carolina, he moved to New York to chase his dreams. I think he went to St. John's College. He got signed, so he's away from North Carolina for X amount of years. He's probably been going for at least 9-10 years. So I thought Safety was a dope, deep record that basically speaks about, what's been going on since he's been gone. And, when he came back, how everything has been. And it really speaks to, for J. Cole's perspective, when you're chasing your dream and, your foundation is home, your fan base is, like, your core fan base is home, is, damn, what the fuck has been going on all this time I've been gone? What really has been going on all this time I've been going? I'm hitting the peak of my stardom. I'm hitting the peak of my craft. You got to remember, this is him at 29, 30 years old. You got to remember what Cole gave us at 29 years old. He gave us his without a doubt classic 2014 Forest Hills Drive. So he's coming back home at the peak of him, like, at his stardom. So I thought that was very dope for him to speak to that, because everybody goes through it. Everybody goes through it. Well, I'm not going to say everybody, but mostly everybody goes through it. You can even still be home and go through it. Like, you graduate high school, you move, or you stay here, you chasing a career, and you don't really communicate with the people that you went to school with like how you used to, or your friends like you used to. That period in between you graduating high school up until 29 years old, I can speak to this. It can really be a blur. And you look up, all this time has passed. All this time has passed, and you sit back and you be like, damn, bro, like what the fuck really has been going on? Like, damn, bro, we ain't talking 5 years, we ain't talking 7 years, we ain't talking 10 years. So I think this is a record that if you don't relate to it 100% as far as moving, you could definitely relate to it as far as even if you stayed home. I know I can like I can think of some names that might have passed that I ain't talked to in years. Hey, bro, what you been up to? Damn, such and such passed in 2014, 2019, 2020, whatever the case may be. So I thought that was a real dope concept that he came up with. And I think one thing I could give Cole props on this album was his concepts. He had a lot of dope concepts on this album. So Safety, by far a very crazy record, especially that last verse. That last verse is heartfelt. Definitely talking about his homophobic, not homophobic, his gay friend, but they was rapping the the friend that was telling him about the gay friend was rapping from a homophobic perspective, which was very was because of course, like, when he's rapping throughout the verse, he almost says the F word, but he doesn't say the F word. So it's really talking about like how the relationship basically fell off because of his, his because of his sex life. And it was like, damn, we allowed his sexual preference to kind of ruin the relationship. And I thought that was very, very dope because reality is a lot of people do let their relationships with people fall off due to their sexual preference. That is just a reality. And I thought that was very risky of him, but I thought it was dope at the same time for him to highlight that, like, damn, like, you know, he passed away and we didn't have a relationship all these years because of his sexual preference. That was very, very, very deep, man. That was a deep, deep record. So salute to J. Cole for Safety on that. I definitely wanted to speak on that because I think that was one of the deepest records on this album. So then you move on, you got Running Train. Running Train is pretty dope. I believe Future is on that because they don't have the features listed on here, but I do believe Future is on that. Pretty dope record. Poor Thing. Now, Poor Thing, by far, in my opinion, is the best beat and best rapping on this album. Like this record here was crazy. It might be second place as far as best rapping, but it's up there. Poor Thing by far is my favorite. So basically it highlights a dude that, he went to high school with. He talking crazy. He about to come back home. Cole ain't been home again. Cole ain't been home all these years. This nigga done been running his mouth. He been calling them out. So he ready to come back home. Basically shoot the fair one with him. Shoot the fair one with him. So Poor Thing is crazy. I actually seen a video of the dude that he talking about. Like he actually walking up at his J. Cole's house, the house that he had on the cover of 2014 Forest Hills Drive, basically peeking in, and then he got this microphone. He basically rapping, calling J. Cole out. So you could tell he had a lot of energy for that nigga on Poor Thing, man. That shit was crazy, but that was a dope record. That's my favorite record on here. Legacy, of course, that's him talking about him and this girl that he been with for X amount of years now. They done had a child together. Boonts Road Blues, that record is okay to me. It's okay to me. I think a lot of people really like it. Of course, you got Tim's on there. And I want to say Burna Boy is on here. It's either Burna Boy or Future. I want to say Future and I want to say Future and Tim's is on this record. But it's cool. Who the fuck is you? Fire. I fuck with that. Drum and bass, another dope one. The Let Out started off kind of slow for me, but I fuck with that record. I definitely fuck with that record. Bombs in the Ville, Hit the Gas. Now the second half of this record, which of course is Hit the Gas, yeah, he was picking it up. He was getting busy. Lonely at the Top, as far as the outro for this 29, it was cool. I kind of felt like he could have left that one off. There's not really too many on this one. This I would rate this 29. I would give it a solid 7.5. 7.5 out of 10 as far as this side. I don't really have too many complaints. I don't really care for Boonts Road Blues. I really don't. Lonely at the Top, you could take that off. So out of the 12, 2 of them I probably would take off. And again, my standouts is Safety and Poor Thing. Safety and Poor Thing. He got busy. He got busy for real. on that one. So now let's get to Diss 39. Let's get to Diss 39. This is obviously him present day. He's at a different point in his life. Now, Diss 39 is what I would call For Your Eyes Only 2.0. For Your Eyes Only 2.0. Now, I'm not really a fan of For Your Eyes Only. I don't revisit that album. It's kind of air to me. I legit have not revisited that album since it came back. Now, as far as the production on this side, he got busy as far as production on this side of the album. But the theme and the direction that he took on it, I'm cool on it. Like, he has some dope concepts. Again, I would have to give Cole a 9 out of 10 when it came to concepts on this album. Whatever ideas he had some dope ideas. But the connection with the music, I wasn't really feeling it, bro. It's cool to me. There's nothing really on this side that I honestly will revisit. That's me just being 100% real. There's nothing on this side of this album that I really gonna revisit except for The Fall Off Is Inevitable. And of course, that's the single that we got to basically promo the album. So off the rip, the intro. Now the second half of the intro, crazy. He was going crazy. First half starts off kind of slow, but he was going crazy on the second half of that, or on the second half of this intro. Then next up, of course, The Fall Off Is Inevitable. Dope concept. Him rapping his life backwards. The Villas is cool. Old Dog is cool. A lot of people saying that's probably a shot at Jay-Z. I don't see that. So now from Life Sentence all the way up to I Love Her Again, I can do without. Life Sentence, of course, he talking about, doing life with his girl. Only You, again, that's an ode to his girl. Man Up Above, that's the more Marvin Sapp flip. I hate that beat. You definitely could have left that track off of here. Man Above, I will never hit play on that record again. I Love Her Again. So now I Love Her Again is basically an ode to Common. Used to love her. Basically talking about the rap game and, and of course, J. Cole, he comes from that cloth. So I'm not surprised that he would do this concept as far as talking about rap. Of course, allegedly it being his last album, and he basically, talking to the rap game, their whole journey. So that record is dope. I'm not mad at that. Now, what if you could have did without? Dope concept, and niggas might kill me for this, but I honestly feel like if you was gonna do what if, you basically should have did either an AI version. You should have either did an AI version of Biggie and Pac, or you could have tried to rap like them from their, because I get it, you're rapping from their perspective. I'm not mad at that. But I honestly feel like if you was going to do a rap record where Biggie and Pac are apologizing to each other, man, you probably should have implemented some AI in that shit. I'm not going to lie. I think that would have made it a little bit dope. Or you could have did a music video for it or something like that. I just feel like we could have did without. I mean, I get it. They apologizing for each other. Like, what if we would have hashed the shit out? Get it, two of the biggest rappers of all time. But that's my honest opinion on it. What if? I think you should have took that direction. But other than that, I understand. I understand the concept. The concept was dope, but I wasn't really feeling it. Quick Stop. Now, Quick Stop. Another story. Him going back, basically telling, it's not even a story for real. I would say it's a moment. It's a moment at him pulling up to the gas station, somebody recognizing him, basically trying to sell him some weed, and, it just basically leads off on some, it's basically like, open-ended. It's not really a round-out story. It's basically the typical story of, him coming back home, and it's not what it used to be. But if you're J. Cole, home, from your perspective, shouldn't be the same. You're a superstar. You're dubbed the Big Three. You're looked at as one of the rap icons from the time that you touched down up until now. So I get it. The theme throughout 39 is essentially where my life is now, how things have changed, and how things won't be the same. But my whole thing is this. If you're J. Cole, that's how it's supposed to be. It kind of sounds like he's a little bit, how can I say, disappointed that, home is not what it used to be. But my nigga, like if you J. Cole and you blow up and you come back home, bro, shit ain't gonna be the same. Shit is not gonna be the same. So Quick Stop basically speaks about, a moment where he's pulling up at the gas station, pumping gas, and a dude, recognizes him. They take the picture and shit like that, and so forth and so on. And the whole world is a Ville, dope rapping on that record as well. And then Ocean Way, the outro. But if I had to give my honest take on this album was underwhelming. Does it have dope moments? 100%. 100%. Again, Safety, dope record, dope deep record. I fuck with that record. Again, rapping from the perspective of, people back home basically talking to Cole, telling him what's been going on since he's been going. You gotta remember, he's 29 years old, so he's basically crossing over to the peak of his stardom. So he's been away from home for like probably 7 to 10 years now. So I really thought, especially that last verse was crazy. Again, Poor Thing, him rapping about the dude who been talking crazy since he been gone. I'm back here now, like I'm on your ass, nigga. Definitely love it. So again, this 29, if I have to rate that, I'd probably give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. This too is of course a little bit more heartfelt, a little bit more personal. Again, he got a few records on here. He talking about his girl. He been with his girl for X amount of years. And then also him coming back home at 30, being 39 years old now, and how things are different. Some of the concept records that he had about, again, I Love Her Again, Ode to Common when he did that flip. And of course, What If with Biggie and Pac apologizing to each other, and Quick Stop. But I felt like the concepts was dope, but the music just wasn't connected for real. I felt like I was built up. And he under-delivered. He under-delivered. I expected a little bit more rapping on this album for real, like rapping. I kind of felt like he wanted to be a little bit more personal, which is fine. But if I had to give my honest opinion, this won't be J. Cole's last album. He's not leaving off on this. I don't believe he's gonna leave. He could leave off on a higher note. If I had to rate this 39, I'm gonna get that shit probably a 6, 5.5, 6. That's honestly how I feel. I don't really feel like this is something that's gonna grow on me. There's nothing really on this side of this album that I'm gonna revisit again, except the fall off is inevitable. I love that record. That record is fire. But other than that, this shit was lackluster. He underperformed. So if I had to give him an overall rating of this project, I give it a 6.5 to about 7. Being real, I give it about a 6.5 to 7. And I don't feel like J. Cole, this will be his last album. He will be back. I don't know at what age, but he will be back for sure. There's no way he's leaving off on this. If this is his, saying like when Ho dropped Reasonable Doubt. No, it's not. It's not. He will be back. If I had to, Cole, listen, I fuck with you, but you under this. This was underwhelming. This is being real. This was underwhelming for sure, my nigga. Underwhelming. Got some dope moments, but overall, I was damn near expecting the classic because of the build-up, and this wasn't that. So I expect Jermaine Cole, Fayetteville, North Carolina, to be back around, I don't know what, J. Cole is 40 now, 41. He'll be back in about 3-5 years. For sure. J. Cole will be back in 3 to 5 years. Now, music is subjective, so everybody's going to have their opinions. Again, the concepts, the ideas, I can understand them and still not like the music. Because people will be quick to say, oh, you just ain't get it. Motherfucker, I got it. I just ain't like the fucking music overall. It's cool. It was, and honestly, 7 out of 10 ain't bad, but for what I was expecting, it's a bad grade. The 7 out of 10 in itself is cool. 6.5, 7 out of 10 is cool. But he underperformed. It's like when your teacher gave you a grade. Let's say you got a C on this is what it is. There were times where I would get C's, or I would even get a B on a test or whatever. Okay, Mike, you did good, but I expected better. You should have knocked this out the park. J. Cole should have knocked this out the park. He should have knocked this album out the park, especially if it was going to be your last album. But I said this before. Every time a rapper say this is their last album, it don't never be their last album. And most of the time, if you're going to go out with a bang, see, like when Ho said Black Album was his last album, he went out with a bang. He's really the only one to really say this is my last album and it be a classic. Black Album is a classic. Other than that, most of the field, their last album don't be like a classic. That's just being honest. It really doesn't. So I expect J. Cole to be back in about 3 to 5 years. There's no way he's leaving off on this note. There's no way he's leaving off on this note. Again, I expected a lot more rapping on this project. The production is cool. I love the production more so on this 29 than I do 39. But I expected a lot more rapping for real, especially coming off the heels of last year. And my assessment of this album has nothing to do with the battle at all. I'm judging it for what it is. I understand that it was a lot more personal, which I expect if it's your last album. But I expect for you to carry on that mentality that, hey, don't get it fucked up. I'm still one of the best at this shit. But I expected him to display it. And he didn't really display that. My Delete Later is better than this project. My Delete Later is better than this project. I'm being real. I'm being honest. My Delete Later is a great project. I love My Delete Later. This is better than this. So I expect J. Cole to come back around and deliver another album. There's no way. If I had to bet money, there's no way I believe this will be J. Cole's last album, bro. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think he could come better, and I truly believe he believes he could come better. And J. Cole loves the rap game, bro. He loves the rap game. Like, I understand he had I Love Her Again. Every rapper goes through that. You know, there's only a few of it to put it on record. And again, I love the flip, you know, but I expect him to come back around. This won't be his, there's no way this will be his last project, bro. This is not better than 2014 Forest Hills Drive. This is not better than, this probably not better than Born Center. And this ain't better than Might Delete Later. Better than the the All Season. Toss up, honestly. It's a toss up, honestly, because that album is you know, okay. KOD. I don't really revisit KOD like that. And honestly, I want Cole because when I actually go back and see, because I'm gonna see who produced this album. I'm assuming he produced this album. I really want Cole to get with the best of the best producers as well. He really hasn't done that, and I think I think 2014 Forest Hill Drive was a positive and a negative for him at the same time, because that was an album, platinum, no features, dubbed a classic, and he ran with that. He was like, okay, cool. I don't gotta fuck with no other producers. Like, you know, my best work is me by myself. I don't got nobody featured on this album. I killed it, and that's great. But that doesn't mean that you don't necessarily have to work with other producers as well. I think he could get with some dope producers, go crazy on some tracks, and deliver something better than 2014 Forest Hills Drive. But up until this point, he has not. And that's fine, but I'm just judging him off his discography. And I felt like ever since that album came out, he hasn't gotten better than that. He hasn't gotten better than that. And again, that's cool, because everything that he's came out with after that hasn't been trash. Has there been albums I haven't revisited? 100%. KOD, For Your Eyes Only. You know, that doesn't mean they're bad albums. They just don't have high replay value, except for Might Delete Later. Might Delete Later is the closest to 2014 Forest Hill Drive, honestly. But I've accepted as a consumer, I just love when dope rappers rap. I love when dope rappers rap. I love when just dope rappers rap. That's why I hold Drake in a high regard and Kendrick when they're just rapping, no hook, getting busy on the shit. And I love a dope story concept. Don't get it fucked up. I love a dope story concept because you can be rapping your ass off on a story too, which he did. Like he did that. He did that on Safety. That's why I love Safety. But I expected more of that rapping, wordplay, wittiness, all that shit. I expected more of that on here in combination with the production. And I was left like, you know, bro, this is cool. And I expected more, especially when you lead off with the fall off is inevitable. Because that was a dope story with him rapping his ass off. That's him rapping his life backwards and getting busy on the track. I expected more of that with the concepts that he had. And I didn't get that on this album. That's why I rated it a 7 out of 10. It's a good project. It's a good project. If you left off, you left off on a good note. You didn't leave off on a high note. You didn't blow niggas out the water. You did not blow niggas out the water, Cole. And I expect for you to be back. So again, this 29, if I'm rating that, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. This 39, I'm giving that about a 6, which would give me my average about 6.5 to 7 totally for this project. And it's a double album. Now, a lot of people will say there's not too many double albums that are classics. The only one is probably All Eyes on Me. I don't care about none of that. I'm judging the project for the project because nobody told you to get your ass out here and do a double album. So it is what it is. I'm not grading it on a curve because it's a double album. I'm not going to do that. If people want to say, if you take away such and such tracks, well, goddamn, bro, if you take away 8 tracks, then what the fuck are we doing? And honestly, I have to judge it for what it is. It's double. And I love the fact that it's 12 on each side because I'm a fan of 12 to 15 tracks. But I'm not going to do the whole, if I take away, no. I gotta grade it for what it is. I got to grade it for what it is. Like I said, this 39 is some of that For Your Eyes Only 2.0, man. And I'm cool on that. I expected him to give that energy like he gave on Might Delete Later when he was rapping his ass off on that bitch. The beats was crazy on that motherfucker. Like, he was going crazy. And I want Cole, when he comes back, because again, I believe he will be back, I want this nigga to link with some of the best producers in the game, bro. I'm not saying that you got to give us like no club banger, no hits like that, because that's not what you do. That's not what I'm saying. But take some of what you did on Might Delete Later and apply that to your next album. I want that rapping. I've accepted that's what I am. And I can appreciate what a rapper wants to give me and still either not like it or like it. Because again, The Fall Off Inevitable is amazing. That's an amazing record. Rapping Your Life Backwards with that wordplay and that is in the video was fucking crazy. But I left off just underwhelmed. So, salute to J. Cole for leaving off on a good note. I expected more. And I do expect for J. Cole to be back, bro. I do expect for him to be back. That's just me being real. Again, my standout tracks on here are Safety and Poor Thing. I love Who the Fuck Is You as well. Bombs in the Ville, Hit the Gas. That's dope as well. The Let Out Is Going On Me. Drum and Bass. That's dope as everything I pretty much like is on this 29. This 29 is probably where I like the most shit on here. Now, the dopest concept on this 39 is What If and I Love Her Again. Those are the dopest concepts. But as far as records, there's nothing I'm really revisiting except for The Fall Off Is Inevitable. I'm cool on that. I'm cool. So, again, salute to J. Cole for The Fall Off. What he says is his last album, but nigga, you'll be back. So, next up, Don Toliver. I wanted to speak about this album last week, but I wanted to give it its just due because I didn't have time to really sit down and assess it like that. And I got to get this nigga his... I got to talk about somebody else as well. But salute to that nigga, man. Salute to Don Toliver, bro. This nigga here be getting busy. Where we at with it? Here we go. So Don Toliver dropped the album called Octane. This nigga nice as hell, bro. I fuck with this nigga Don Toliver. I probably got on Don probably about 2018-ish, 2018, 2019-ish. And actually, let me pull up his discography real quick. Yep, that's what it is. Hearthstone Cycle that came out 2024. I love that project. Life of a Dawn, fire. Heaven to Hell that came out 2020, fire. That might be my favorite project from him. But Octane is crazy. This might be the most this project from him might be the one I revisit the most. Off rip, E85, crazy starting out an album like that. Body, this project is 18 tracks long, 50 minutes. Body, Secondhand, Rendezvous, Turismo, ATM, Long Way to Calabasas, Rosary with Travis Scott, All the Signs of Tizo Touchdown, Call Back, Tuition, K9, Excavator, Gemstone, Opposite, TMU, Pleasure's Mine, Sweet Home. My favorite on here will probably have to be ATM and Long Way to Calabasas. Rosary is crazy as well. All the signs of Tizo Touchdown. Tizo Touchdown kind of sound like Baby Blue from Pretty Ricky on that record. That record is fire. But off the rip with E85, crazy. And I love ATM, Long Way to Calabasas. Excavator is fucking insane. If I had to rate this album, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10, bro. 8 out of 10. Like this is some solid great work, man. This is some great work. This is some great work from Don Toliver. He continues to just put out quality work, and I can tell that he sits down, he takes the time with it. His sound is very unique, and hopefully, man, this nigga continues to run it up. But I definitely wanted to speak about this because I didn't get a chance to last week, so I wanted to give Dog his proper props. Yeah, Octane is crazy. Octane is crazy. For you to start the album off with E85, that's madness. That's madness. That shit is crazy. Then you go right in the body, and I'm not even a fan of Yeet. And I love Rendezvous. That shit is that shit is crazy. To ATM again, Long Way to Calabasas, Rosary with Travis Scott. But I really love All the Signs. All the Signs might be my second favorite on here at the ATM. All the Signs with Tizo, like that record is saying Callback, Tuition, that shit is fire. And to close it out with Sweet Home, yeah, so salute to Don Toliver, man. You got busy, bro. Salute to you. This album is again, this is great work. I give it a solid 8 out of 10, man. So salute to you on that. So next up, we have some more versus talk. And of course, I spoke about this probably about 3-4 episodes ago. That was when I was speaking about T.I. and 50 Cent, but now T.I. and Wayne came up. T.I. and Wayne came up as a potential versus matchup. Now, y'all already know I'm biased off rip, so I'm going with Wayne. But even with me not being biased, I don't see T.I. coming out victorious, bro. I just don't. And y'all know I just spoke about T.I.'s discography last week. He's in my top 15 of all time, but this guy right here, he's my GOAT. So I don't see no situation where T.I. comes out victorious in the verses against Wayne. I just don't. Features, discography. People will say that T.I. probably has a better overall discography than Wayne. Okay, cool. I'm not mad at that. But if we start getting into just rapping records, mixtape records, I don't want to hear shit about freestyles either, because Jadakiss, when he did his versus Fab, he was doing some mixtape freestyle records. When he did his verses against Dipset, he did some freestyle mixtape records. So I don't want to hear shit about freestyles. Oh, Wayne can't use... No. I'm counting those 2, motherfucker. Dedication 2, Drought 3, all that. Squad up, even if you want to get in the squad, I'm counting all of it. And with me counting all that, Wayne coming out victorious. No disrespect to T.I., but again, it's levels. It's just levels. And I understand a lot of the times, people, they going to lean into, their favorites because people saying, oh, T.I. washing Wayne. All right, bro, that's how you want to feel. We all know that's not true. But it's a reason why throughout their career, one guy was up here and one guy was below him. And that's not to say that T.I. was on the bottom. I would never say that. But nobody was fucking with that nigga. Nobody was fucking. From 2005 to 2010, nobody was fucking with that nigga. Top rapper in the game, period. So I'm going, oh my God, the features. Oh my God. We Taking Over. And Wayne could do both versions of We Taking Over. He could do the Drop 3 version of We Taking Over. He could do the one with Khaled. Because both of them bitches is hard. I don't even know which one I would prefer. But come on, man. The features is good. We all know in 2007 alone, what Wayne was doing feature-wise in 2007 alone, I don't think nobody has a feature run like Wayne does in 2007. He literally was everywhere. Bro. Like this nigga here is crazy. Let me go ahead and see. Now niggas gonna make me pull up my playlist. Let me go to my playlist for Wayne, bro, because this conversation, this is where I get to get in my bag as far. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and go to the feature playlist, because I got a feature playlist from Wayne. You ain't know. Neck of the Woods. Damn, I'm Cold. Lost with Gorilla Zoe. Fucking insane. Left Earth. Touch It or Not. Cameron. 100 Million. Birdman, Swagger Like Us. Both of them could do that record. Like Father Like Son, Uptown with Drake, Motivation, Soldier, Ignis Shit, Thug Cry, Stunting Like My Daddy, I'm So Hood remix, Salute with Fab, 6 Minutes, Cassidy, Hell Yeah Fucking Right with Drake, Hello Brooklyn, Jay-Z, Maybach Music 2, one of his best feature records ever. One of his best feature records ever. I'm on my feet like tough acting to acting. That nigga's going crazy on there. Timeless with Benny the Butcher. If you want to speed it up to 2020. 2020 also was a dope. From 2019 up until 2023, Wayne had a crazy run with features. Let me keep going. I'm a G, Port of Miami with Rick Ross. Welcome to My Hood when he first got out of jail. The Motto, Luxury Tax, Make It Rain, Fat Joe, goes without saying. Forever, Eminem, you all know who's on that. Successful. Come on, man. Drake again. You Only Live Twice with Drake. Killed that on CLB. Seeing Green. Come on, bro. Seeing Green, Left Earth. And then, of course, I rounded it out with We Taking Over. So this is just the feature. This is just the feature playlist I got right here. So now let me get to the where you at, dog? Where you at? This is Wayne by himself. Gossip. My favorite Wayne record of all time is Gossip. The Mob. I'm Me. Seat Down Low. Boom. Money on My Mind. A Millie. Go DJ. Comfortable. Let the Beat Build. Right Above It. Upgrade You. Receipt. Walk In. Oh No. Oh No is probably the best rapping on the Carter 2. Probably the best rapping on the Carter 2 record. On the Carter 2. John with Rick Ross. It's Good with Jadakiss. Don't Stop, Won't Stop with Nicki Minaj. Route 3. Stunting Like My Daddy. He said that before. Fireman. Birdman Jr. Come on, man. A lot of people say that's Wayne's best rapping period on Birdman Jr. First Key. Hustler's Music. The Block Is Hot. Bring It Back. Way of Life. Walk It Out. Freestyle. Dipset. Steady Mobbing. Believe Me with Drake. Those What I Got freestyle. Come on, bro. Come on. Best rapper alive. And don't get it. He probably wouldn't do that one because that's a long record. That's for come on, man. It's for, like stop it, bro. Stop it. Cause I seen a lot of niggas being disrespectful to Wayne. And T.I. got some shit too. Don't get it fucked up. I fuck with T.I. I want to see him go up against 50 Cent, and I spoke about that before. T.I. got some shit. King of the South. Big shit popping. I'm Straight. Rubber Band Man. What's Up? What's Happening? Why You Wanna? 24s. You Don't Know. Whatever You Like. Still Ain't Forgave Myself. Doing My Job. About the Money. Bring 'Em Out. Hurt. Live Your Life. Swagger Like Us again. ASAP. ASAP is the hardest beat T.I. has ever rapped on, by the way. ASAP is the hardest beat. After Top Back is the hardest beat that he's rapped over. Top Back, Let's Get Away, What You Know. Yeah, so it's definitely not a easy outing for Wayne. I just think that he's better. I just think he's levels above him. Like like I said, T.I.'s in my top 15, but this guy here, top 1. Like, come on, bro. I think it'd be. He's not coming out victorious against Wayne. I'm sorry. He's just not, bro. Especially after that feature bag I just named. Like, come on, bro. That's gonna be a long day. That's gonna be a long day for T.I., bro. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. But hopefully we get to see that. I see T.I. and 50 Cent going back and forth. But 50, again, is just gonna meme niggas to death. He's not gonna rap. He's not gonna get on the stage. And it's just whack, bro. I would love to see it, but if we get a T.I. and Wayne, I'm rolling with the Wayne Michael Carter, bro. I'm rolling with the Wayne Michael Carter, bro. I'm sorry, T.I., but it's different with that nigga from Louisiana, bro. I'm sorry. It's just different. So that definitely was a conversation that came up. So, Shaboozey, I wanted to speak about this. I want to go ahead and get this out the way now. So Shaboozey had an acceptance speech at the Grammys. And matter of fact, let me go ahead and play this. Cause I definitely wasn't gonna let this slide. Let me go ahead and play this.
Mason, as a part of this, Harvey, Mason, thank you so much. I have the greatest team in the world. Thank you so much. And again, the last thing I want to say, immigrants built this country, literally. Actually, so this is for them, for all children of immigrants. This is also for those who came to this country in search of better opportunity, to be a part of a nation that promised freedom for all and equal opportunity to everyone willing to work for it. Thank you for bringing your culture, your music, your stories, and your traditions here. You give America color. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Shaboozey. And I know he's a country artist. I probably heard one of his songs before, but I'm not really a country music listener. But for you to get up on that stage in front of millions of people and tell that lie is fucking crazy, bro. And this is me not trying to be divisive or none of that shit. I'm just speaking facts. Because I really don't care to get into the whole back and forth. But one thing I cannot stand is where history gets rewritten. Immigrants and slaves are not interchangeable. They are not. Immigrants didn't build nothing in this country. They came, they saw the blueprint, and they tried to duplicate. Those are the facts. This country was built off the backs of Black American slaves. Those are the facts. I'm not here to go back and forth with nobody about it. I'm not here to argue. You can think what you think. It's still all love at the end of the day. But history will not be rewritten. This is not say that I got any beef with any other black people from other walks of life, Africans, and none of that. But history will not be rewritten, bro. It's just not. Because the fact of the matter is, Black American culture is the most impactful culture on this planet. That's just the facts. And we always have to be the ones to take a step back. But like, oh, they didn't really mean it. No. Everybody gets to dip their foot in, participate, and then when they get to accepting, talking and speaking, they want to act like as if they started it. No, bro, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And I'll be damned if I let anybody else tell me different. I'm sorry, bro. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That's a lie. Again, immigrants and slaves are not interchangeable. This country was built off the backs of Black American slaves. And I honestly, and another point too, I need people to start really doing their history better as far as their lineage. Because there's a lot of picking and choosing when it comes to your lineage as well. Example, let's say your parents are from, let's say, Haiti. They born in Haiti, they moved to America. That means you would be first generation Black American. But what I see is a lot of picking and choosing in terms of whatever the topic may be. So you'll rep Haiti all day, which is fine. You'll identify as that all day. But when it's time for some recognition on some Black American culture type shit, you say, oh yeah, my people did it. No. You participated. Your people participated. They came over here from another country. And again, this is no beef with no other Black people from other walks of life. I'm not here to do no wars because of what I say, and I promise you, I will not be going back and forth about that shit with nobody because I know the history. But it cannot be rewritten, bro. Everybody else gets to celebrate and embrace and identify with their cultural background and their lineage. But when it comes to Black Americans, again, who have the most impactful culture on this planet, that's not to be debated, we always have to take the back seat and shut the fuck up when somebody else want to step their foot in and try to change who started something. And it can't be like that because we don't do that for nobody else. We don't go to another country, participate, and they be like, oh no, we started this shit. It wouldn't even fly. But people get to come over here, participate, rewrite some shit, and we just have to shut the fuck up about it. No. And again, I'm not trying to be divisive, but you ain't gonna tell this lie. I'm sorry. You're not gonna tell this lie, bro. Slaves and immigrants are not interchangeable. That's just the fact of the matter. And a lot of people need to do their history and do their research. It's nothing wrong with participating, bro. Everybody can participate. I don't care who participates. But don't try to change who started this shit. Okay? So again, salute to Shaboozey. You know you're doing your thing with country music. Salute to you for getting your award. But nah. Immigrants didn't build this country, bro. Sorry. Take that shit somewhere else. So definitely want to speak about that. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar for winning Best Rap Album for GNX. GNX, again, I've been saying this was the best rap album that came out. You know, it came out the end of 2024. So it was the best rap album, you know, it came out in November 2024. Best rap album of 2024. And of course, the way the Grammys, they do their selections as far as the year, of course, it was, you know, lumped up in the class of, you know, that time frame. But GNX deserved it. You know, a lot of people felt like Clips should have won it for Let God Sort Them Out. I'm not mad at that, but GNX by far was the best album. I don't think it was close, honestly. Because I think Let God Sort Them Out is a great album. I don't think it's a classic, but GNX by far is by far, you know, it's not even close. I don't think if they had a tally for votes in terms of, you know, who did what, like how they kind of do for like the NFL awards, you know, who voted for that. I would like to see the tally because I damn sure don't think it was close. 12-track album, everything on here is great. The only track I probably don't listen to the most on here is Gloria, and that's the outro. Everything else is fucking fire, bro. Like starting off the album, Whacked Out Murals, Squabble Up, Luther. I think Luther took home an award too, but this album is just top to bottom classic. I got it right behind Good Kid, Mad City as far as his best albums. Those are his, you know, two classics without a doubt. Good Kid, Mad City, and then GNX. Those are his two classics throughout his discography. So he deserved every award that he got for GNX. I'm sorry. You know, salute to the Clips. They had a great album, but it wasn't fucking with GNX in my opinion. Of course, I seen that conversation. People felt like they should have got it. Hey, that's fine. But GNX, if I'm comparing the two, it got it wiped down. It got it wiped down. So salute to Kendrick Lamar. He had a dope year. Hopefully he comes back out with some music soon. He don't take another hiatus. But I think ever since he got out his last label situation, I think he's here to stay as far as being consistent. Because I definitely want some more music for him, especially coming off the heels of GNX, bro. So salute to Kendrick Lamar. Had a dope year. He deserved every award for GNX, and I predicted it to win for best rap album, and it got it, man. So salute to Kendrick, man. Love that album. Still spin it till this day. So let's get into some sports shit. Trade deadline. This trade deadline was kind of, it was cool. So let's go ahead and get into the big one first. James Harden to the Cavs. So of course this shit came out of left field again, as it does with James Harden over the last couple of trades. And again, I can't understand how James Harden could want out of LA, especially with them winning the last 17 of their 20 games. And salute to Tyler too, because he predicted this. He was talking about going on a crazy run to end the season. He wanted to go like 30 and something. And the Clippers, they've had the best record in basketball over the last like month and a half. Them niggas been killing. They've been doing their thing. And then James Harden asked for a trade. I can't support James Harden in this trade request. I can't. The Houston trade request, I can accept. The Brooklyn one, oh my God, that situation was horrible. I can accept that. The Philly one, I can't accept the Philly one. And then this one right here with the Clippers, I can't accept it. This is going to end badly, in my opinion. This is not going to end good. I see how it's going to get dressed up. I see what's on the horizon. They're going to recruit LeBron James to come. They're probably going to get Draymond Green too. But as far as this season right here, I don't think this does anything for the Cavs. They traded away Darius Garland. Darius Garland, his foot is shot. So in the moment right now, James Harden is better than Darius Garland. But the combo between Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, I don't see it getting them over the hump as far as getting to the finals. It remains to be seen. But I can't bet on him because we all know, and I said this back in the summer, I said the Clippers shouldn't extend him. He didn't deserve his money. But he had to prove himself. And I said this with Daryl Morey in the Sixers too. If Daryl Morey and him had a unwritten promise about he was going to pay him some money, I'm pretty sure that had to be under the guise of him delivering against Boston in that series. And the way that he ended that series, I wouldn't have paid the nigga neither. Now you had the Clippers, he coming out and saying that he didn't ask for a trade. I don't believe that shit. Talking about, oh, I wanted to, look out for the Clippers' future. I don't believe that shit. That nigga asked for a trade when they didn't want to extend him and give him no more bread. So sorry, James, I can't get with you on that. And this Cavs situation, I think, is going to end badly. It's going to end worse than it did with the Clippers. It's going to end worse than it did with the Sixers. Because when it comes down to it, James is not going to deliver in April and May. He's just not. I can't force myself to see something else other than what he's been showing me lately. Now, I still regard James Harden as a top 3 shooting guard all time. That ain't going to change. But in the same time, too, I can say in 2026, he's not moving the needle. Yes, I understand he's averaging 25. He's averaging. But this move, again, is to get a championship ring. And I don't see him doing that when it comes down to in the Game 6 and Game 7 of a playoff. I just don't see it. He's not going to deliver. He's going to have that same 2 for 8, 3 for 11, 4 for... It remains to be seen. But this move does nothing for the Cavs. I'm sorry. I just don't see it. Ja Morant and Giannis, they have not been traded. Ja Morant and Giannis have not been traded. Now, this here is crazy. Giannis is still one of the fakest superstars I've ever seen in NBA history in terms of his personality. This whole loyalty gimmick is played out. This nigga posted a clip from Wolf of Wall Street when he's like, I'm not leaving. Nigga, if it was like that, you should have posted that prior to the deadline ending. But you didn't because you wanted out. Reports coming out saying he wanted to get to Minnesota or Miami. I know he did. So you're not fooling nobody with that clip, bro. You definitely not fooling me. And I said this months ago. Nigga just asked for the trade, but he don't want to ask for the trade because he want to protect his loyalty image. That shit is flawed as fuck. You don't want to be there. That's why you ain't signed no extension yet. This shit is so flawed. But guess what's going to happen in the summer? He's going to get moved. And he's going to try to, I didn't ask for the trade. I wanted to stay there. Nigga, you wanted to leave, nigga. You never wanted to stay. And that clip was so nasty because he posted it. What made it so nasty and fake as fuck is because he posted it right at the end of the deadline. Like, nigga, you was itching to leave. You been wanting to leave. You didn't want to stay. I don't understand that nigga persona as far as trying to present something that is not. It's okay for you to ask for a fucking trade, bro. You delivered that franchise, the only championship they had in 50 years. You don't owe them nothing. You tried to make it work out with Dame. Injuries happened. You don't got to stay. It's okay to ask for a trade, bro. They ain't going to kill you. And if they're going to be mad at you, they will be fine. You delivered a championship. But all this other shit is played the fuck out, bro. Get this nigga out of here, bro. Get him out of here. Ja Morant, he's staying with the Grizzlies. I don't know what happened with that. They saying this nigga ain't really got a market for real. Teams are not willing to give up a first-round draft pick for him. That's crazy. I would at least give up a first-round pick for Ja Morant, so that remains to be seen. Anthony Davis traded to the Wizards, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year, along with probably Trae Young as well, to get ready for next season. Do I believe that's going to work? Fuck no. Anthony Davis is 33 years old, injury prone. He is moving nothing with the Wizards. I think Trae Young will be fine as far as individual play. But as far as a combination of him and Anthony Davis, I'd nickname that duo Paid Leave, because that's all you're going to see from them niggas. Paid leave. The Chicago Bulls. These niggas traded away Vooch. Shout out to Vooch. I never had no issues with Vooch. I think he was one of the most consistent players we've had on the Bulls since we acquired him. He's with the Celtics. I think that will be a great upgrade for the Celtics. I think Vooch will be a great upgrade for the Celtics. Somebody who can stretch the floor, can rebound, shoot from anywhere on the floor as well. Yes, he has his lapses on defense, on the defensive side, but shit, he better than KP in my opinion. He better than what they had with Kristaps Porzingis, I tell you that much. So I think the Celtics definitely upgraded by acquiring Vooch. The Bulls are just getting all these fucking guards, bro. I don't understand it. I really don't. I really don't. Let me pull this shit up. Because this shit here is ridiculous, bro. My God, bro. Like, we acquired all these fucking... Look at all these guards we got. We got Rob Dillingham, who we acquired from Minnesota. We got Josh Giddey. Jaden Ivey we got from the Pistons. Trey Jones. Mac McClung. Don't know why we did that. Colin Sexton, who we acquired in the trade. Anthony Simons. Like, bro, we got all these fucking guards, my nigga. We got the tallest person on our team is 6'11". This nigga don't get no burn. This is Nick Richards. Other than that, we got Leonard Miller. Other than that, on a consistent basis on the floor, our tallest player is 6'8", 6'9", and that's Mataz Buzelis. What are we doing with all these guards, bro? We ain't doing a motherfucking thing. And Patrick Williams is still on this fucking team, bro. This nigga cannot get off my team. I do not understand this shit, bro. This nigga is still on my team, bro. He has to fucking go. He has to go, bro. I'm sick of this nigga, bro. Get him out of here. Get this nigga out of here, bro. I'm so sick of this guy, man. I'm so sick of this guy. Get him out of here. So the Bulls, we ain't doing shit. We ain't got shit going on for real. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Goddamn, bro. Yeah, because we traded Kobe White to the Hornets. You know, I tried to give, Kobe White a chance. You know, he just didn't work out, bro. He just didn't work out, man. And it's unfortunate. Kristaps Porzingis went to the fucking to the Warriors. He's not doing nothing. They traded away Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield for Kristaps. He's not doing nothing. I don't know what the fuck KP got going on. He's been sick a lot over the last year and a half. He just hasn't been on the floor. The Pacers acquired Zubac from the Clippers. In return, they got Mathurin and Jackson, 2026 first round pick. And that's another thing too, real quick. The Bulls can't acquire a first round pick for nothing. All we getting is motherfucking second round picks. The Anthony Davis trade. Let me see. So the Wizards got Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum, and they got Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Tyus Jones, Marvin Bagley, and the Hornets receive Malachi Branham. So that was a 3-team trade. Pacers got Zubac, Kobe Brown. LA received Mathurin and Jackson. Celtics, again, they received Vucevic in the 2027 second-round pick. We got a second-round pick in 2026 and Anthony Simons. The Chicago Bulls trade with the Wolves. We got Rob Dillingham, Leonard Million, 2026, a 2027, a 2031, and a 2022, all second-round picks. Minnesota got Ayo DeSumo, Julian Phillips. Suns and Chicago trade a 3-team trade with the Bucks. Nigel Hayes, Dieng. Bucks got Phoenix got Cole Anthony, Amir Coffey, and we got Nick Richards. The Hornets and Bulls trade for Mike Conley and Kobe White, Dieng, Colin Sexton, 2029 second round pick, 2031 second round pick, and a 2031 second round pick. We got a bunch of second round picks. But Mike Conley, he ended up getting released by us because we acquired him in a trade. Knicks got Jose Alvarado. New Orleans got Dalen Terry. 2 second-round picks, cash considerations. The Raptors got Tracy Jackson Davis. Golden State got a second-round pick. Lakers acquired Luke Kennard. That's definitely an upgrade from Gabe Vincent because that motherfucker can't hit a 3 for shit. Chris Paul got traded to the Raptors, but they're going to release him, and no team is looking to sign him. Now, that's fucking crazy. Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards of all time. He's top 5 all time, in my opinion, and he'll be going out like this is kind of crazy. Not even getting like a farewell tour. Like, this nigga getting traded, and the Raptors say, hey, bro, you ain't not even staying. You getting out of here. That's fucking insane. 3-team trade with Atlanta and Utah. Lonzo Ball, he's out of here. Atlanta received Jock Londale. Lonzo Ball, he's cooked. I think he's getting released as well. I don't think no team is picking him up. That's pretty much it as far as notable trades. Again, the James Harden trade officially. James Harden, the Cavs received. LA got Darius Garland, the future second-round pick. Jared McCain got traded to the Thunder. And the Sixers got a 2026 first-round pick and 3 future second-round picks. Grizzlies trade. Jaren Jackson Jr., Jock Londale, John Conchar, Vince Williams Jr. to the Jazz, and the Memphis Grizzlies received Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 future first-round picks. That's fucking crazy, Jaren Jackson Jr. In that deal, they was able to get 3 first-round picks, and the Bulls can, again, Jaren Jackson Jr. is not going to do shit. He's not going to average over 6 rebounds per game. combination of him and Laurie Marketing, them niggas ain't getting shit popping. The Pistons in a 3-team trade. Again, that was a Mike Conley trade with Jaden Ivey. Of course, we moved Mike Conley again. And the Pistons got Kevin Herter, Dario Saric, 2026 first round pick swap. Cavaliers added Keon Ellis from Sacramento. DeAndre Hunter went to Sacramento. And we got Dario Saric, which I guess, of course, we moved again. And the Trae Young trade, which we already spoke about before. So, yeah, the trade deadline was kind of, it was cool. It was nothing major, no real big splashes and nothing like that. But that whole Giannis shit, I'm so done with that dude. I'm so done with that dude. Even though I would have him in Chicago, I just want this nigga to stand on his shit. Stand on your shit, nigga. It's okay. It's cool, bro. It's cool. And nobody's going to be mad at you, dog. You can go ahead. You can get busy. You can do your thing. So, we ramping up on All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend will be next week. So, I'll be interested to see what's going on with that. Anthony Edwards is already talking about how he banged up, how he might not play again. These niggas, again, I hope the next CBA is so biblical. So biblical in terms of the owner side. Oh my God. I want the owners to hold the line on these niggas because this shit is getting ridiculous. But I'm not going to get on that again. So that's pretty much all I got for this week's show, man. Again, thank y'all for tapping in, checking in with me. Again, please make sure y'all continue to pursue them goals. Stay consistent. Don't procrastinate. Get busy. Get your ass in that gym. Again, get your ass in that gym. Make sure everything is on the up and up. I know days will be, you'll have some bad days, but don't let a bad day deter your progress. That's all I really got to say. And again, get your ass in that gym. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.